Hello Mindfulness Project family! Advent calendar time again. So it's beautiful that everybody from the team thinks for months already what they can give to you. You know, what would be their personal gift, and I hope you enjoy what we came up with for you. And this talk is about the power of giving. So, and it's really good to contemplate about it because the Buddha laid out a very precise path on how to progress in your spiritual journey. And it's very interesting because we in the West, we have this kind of idea, we sit down in meditation and we purify our minds and hearts tremendously, and that out of this, removing all the problems of greed and wanting and aversion and desires and stuff like this out of our mind, then we can become more giving, more caring, and more sharing. And the Buddha's path is actually exactly the opposite. It starts with caring and sharing and giving. And he says if we don't do that, then it's very impossible to really progress on the spiritual path. And it was very striking for me that when I came here to Thailand, when I came to Asia, how incredible open these people are, how incredible giving these people are. It was, every volunteer who comes here is just so touched because they all get, brought to the project. They sometimes, people pick them up on the street. Where do you go? And they say, oh, I need an ATM. And they drive them 5 kilometers to the ATM, wait until they have their money, and no, they don't steal them then or rob them then, but they drive them back safely. And that is a day-to-day experience here in this country. And they see how much the power of giving actually changes the way how you feel about yourself and others, and that inspires you to do the same thing for other people. So, and the Buddha was saying, in Pali it's called dana, and dana is the giving from the heart, and he was very precise about it, that he said, try to stretch your limits how much you can give. So he was explaining, if a very wealthy person is giving a big gift, which doesn't really hurt him a lot, he doesn't really feel that part of giving, that does not make a big influence on his karmic kind of output, so to say. But if somebody who's very poor gives a little bit, but that little really means a hell of a lot for it, that's just so much more beneficial for your own heart. So he said the intention behind it is giving, really giving something you really would like to have yourself, something which really means something to you, or is it something like I did in the past? I just had my smartphone and I had my nice computer and my mountain bike, and my holiday was paid for, and then I had a little bit of money left on my bank account, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I could do something for somebody. But I remember one of my friends, he was, he was unemployed and he was just really in a shitty time. And one of his friends had MS, and it came to the point where he could not walk anymore and needed a wheelchair. And my friend gave the last 1,000 euros he had to his friend so that he could buy a wheelchair. And I just remember, he told me the story some 25 years ago, and I still remember it because it touched me so much. And now comes the point. There are 3 aspects to the giving. It's the person who gives, the person who receives, and the world. And you influence all of the 3. So, if you give, that has such a crazy impact on yourself, because you identify with the things you do. So even if you do some shitty things, you're cheating, you are lying, you're, whatever it is, and nobody sees that. Nobody, just get to know about it. There's one person who knows. It's me. And it influences my self-esteem, how I think about it. And no matter how much you try to kind of suppress that, it will always be, we always have the question in the project, in the talking circle, what are you most ashamed of? And a lot of times these things are coming up. From this we know that the bad things you do, they will stick with you. You know, they will come up in your meditation. But the same thing with the good things you do. You know, like you sit in your meditation and from your subconsciousness will come up these things of, you know, where you did something great, all the feelings are coming up with this, how great this person, you know, felt in this moment, and all these kind of things. So it has a tremendous effect on yourself, but even more so on other people you give to. Because do you remember the people who were giving you, who were, you know, serving you? And I don't mean the gifts, you know, you buy somewhere, but, you know, some moments where you were really, really down, where you were really, really in pain, where you were maybe heartbroken, and this different persons were caring for you, giving you time and energy, and by that they were really, by the gift of love, by the gift of attention, you really started to build yourself up again, that you really started to use their love and appreciation. For example, when you were heartbroken, when you were really down and thought you're just a piece of shit, you take these building blocks of their love to make up, you know, who you are afterwards. And so other people can become the most important you know, kind of things in our spiritual growth, in our growth as a human being. So the gifts you give to other people, never underestimate the power of what difference you can make in the life of other people. Do you remember, for everybody who was in the project, what an incredible, you know, just like connection we had with each other, what an incredible feeling we had for each other, and that was because of all the little actions everybody in the project is doing on a day-to-day basis. So the impact on other people is tremendous, and the impact on the world is what is the most striking and what the Buddha was talking about. And some of my meditations, I was able to really experience the law of karma in the way of that I saw that every monk meditating is actually bringing light into the collective consciousness, that every prayer somebody prays with an open and honest heart will bring light into the collective consciousness, but also every act of cheating and lying and being selfish, and you know, that brings a lot of heavy and dark energy into the collective consciousness, and this is what we're experiencing around us. You know, collective consciousness is a very, very difficult term for some people. But you just have to see that we are not just an individual conscious being, you know, that everything what we do, for example, we have a family consciousness, that, you know, what happened to your grandparents, to your parents, has an effect on you, and we know that from psychology now more and more. It's getting more and more research about it. So there is something which is bigger than my little personality, which is influenced by the action of other people. So, and if you put that on a global scale, we can see that what happens in America is influencing Europe. What happens in China is influencing Asia. Everything is interconnected with each other, and if we understand the law of interconnectedness, then we understand how important it is that we start to give and share from our hearts to make a difference in this world. So, you guys, you know, you are the heroes. You are the ones who are just being on the same path we are, that we're just trying to bring lights into the darkness. And this is what Christmas is all about. It's all about giving light, you know, lighting a candle, lighting a fire of love and appreciation. I love you so much. Enjoy your before Christmas time, because it's a time of actually going into silence. Thank you.